What we have here is two of the Bumper Boy 4 shooters with the original Bumper Boy electronics on them. Speakers, transmitter, charger. The charger is not a multi-plug charger. What you want to do is you want to plug it into one, let it charge up 3, 4, 5 hours, plug it into the other one. The battery inside the transmitter is just a 9-volt battery. Pretty simple. Slide the bottom off, put the new battery in. For people my age, you call those the old transistor radio battery. Bumper is pretty self-explanatory. Black and white bumper. Got a sleeve on the bottom that slides over the launcher tube. Push it all the way down on there. Push your button, the bumper flies off, the dog retrieves it. One thing that I do is use these PVC spacers. That helps me, you see a little bit better like that, helps me vary the distance. If I want a short throw, I put a PVC spacer on there. If I want a long throw, I just slide the bumper all the way down by itself. Also, the 22 blanks that you use in these come in brown, green, yellow, and red. Mostly I use the yellows. They seem to be pretty consistent, but the brown and the green have a little less charge. I would not recommend using the red because that's a big cannon shot. Okay, the functionality here. On the bottom you've got, and you'll be able to see it when you get your hands on it, your switch is on the bottom. On, red light comes on, I think you can see that. Off, and then the program button is all the way to the left. I'll have this programmed so number 1 is off number 1 on the transmitter, number 2 is off number 2 on the transmitter. Turn the unit on. Get your transmitter here. There's a certain sequence that you need to go through. It's a little difficult to do filming here by myself, but I'm going to try to show you how to do it. Send clear, and you see your light going up and down, and I want this to send clear means you're sending a message to the receiver and then you're clearing it. So you want to push the send clear, push number 1, that clears off and resets number 1, send clear, push number 2, and that clears and resets number 2. Functionality on these things is on the back side here, and yep, you can see that pretty well. Pull the cocking trigger down, you'll hear and feel the click. Pull it all the way down on all 4 of them. We'll come over to this one, we'll turn this one on. Red light comes on. Same thing here, I'm going to cock all 4 of these. 2, 3, 4. Alright, we'll go back to our launch sequence. Send clear. Number 1, I've reset this one over here. Send clear. Number 2, you see the light come on and off. I've reset this one over here. Alright, push the arm on button and your red light comes on. To get the sound on number 1, you push the 1 duck sound right up here on top. Alright, and that's number 1. Now you can hit the launch button and you just fired a bumper off. Wait about 2-3 seconds, hit it again. There's another one. Number 3. Number 4. Alright, number 2 here, we've already reset it, so I want to hit the sound on it. Push the launch button. 4. I've shot all 4 of them. Now, if you want to shoot number 1, then shoot number 2 so you have a double retrieve. You want to make sure you have it reset. So I'm going to reset number 1. Send clear. I'm going to reset number 2. Arm on. Sound on 1. Push the launch button. Watch you see the red light come on here. Alright, the light came on. We just shot number 1. Number 2. Get your dog looking that way. Watch the red light come on. Push the number 2. Bang, I just shot number 2. There's your double retrieve. Now, for some reason, if your dog gets out there and gets lost or needs some help, you can either hit the sound button to keep your dog in the area, or shoot another bumper for him. So if number one is the memory bird and he kind of lost on number one, or you need to shoot another one while the dog's en route, just push the button again, and there you've fired another one off. At the end of the day, hit your arm on button and you turn it off. On the bottom of the bumper boy here, off and off. Not real hard to use. You just kind of need to get in the sequence and figure out what works for you. You can adjust the height and the angle on these if you want. There's a set screw here, and then you've got a mechanism down here on a threaded rod that screws it up or screws it down. This is the angle I like to use. It's pretty much like you get out of a winger or a hand-thrown bird if you're at some kind of retriever contest or a training day. All right, I'm going to show you how to load these. You want to make sure after you load them that you don't stand in front of them. Treat it like a loaded gun. Push the lever right here, and the firing mechanisms come down and exposes the chamber. These are the yellow tip bumper boys. I think you can see the yellow on there. The yellow tip 22 blanks is what they are. You can buy them at Home Depot or Lowe's or Tractor Supply or Marvin's. It's what they use in the concrete nail guns. You want to slide it. Let me get it turned around here, make sure we can see. Yep. Slide it right inside. Close it up. Off 4 of them. And I don't put the bumpers on them until I get ready to set them up and shoot them. You want to treat these things like a loaded gun. All right, this hasn't been shot yet, but I'm going to show you how to unload it. You push the little clip right here, and this will be expended. It'll be shot. It'll be open on the end and not yellow like it is now, and it'll fall right out. There's a little clip here. When you get it, you'll see it. There's a little clip that pulls the shell right out of the barrel. Sometimes from the expansion of the shell and the concussion and the firing, it'll stick. I usually keep a pair of needle nose pliers with me just so that I can pull it out of there if I need to. All right, test fire demonstration here in the field. We'll start from scratch. Whoop, let me widen it out here. Send clear. Number 1, I've reset number 1. Send clear. Number 2. Arm on. Sound, I don't know if you can hear it. We're about 75 yards away. Push the sound button. Yep, I heard it. And then the launch. There you go. Okay, shoot another one. Whoa, that one went way out. The inconsistency in these things is always with the shells. And you see I've got white streamer tape on there just to make sure everybody can see them. Okay, number 2 here, I'm going to push the sound. All right, here we go. There we go. I've had them all pointing the same way just so you could see how they fire off. And they're all at about in the same spot out there except for that one that went real long. I think you can see them on the ground right out there. Then if you turn them back to back, side to side, put one way over to one side, one way over to the other side, behind a holding blind, behind a bush, whatever, then you can shoot your doubles. And that flagging tape that I put on there is real good for young dogs to make sure that they can see the bumper or see the mark when it goes off. And then if you're in heavy cover, there's a little bit of white out there when they get around it, that they get rewarded for getting to the area to fall. Okay, here's the real deal. I'm working with this young dog on steady here in the yard, and I'm just going to walk up here in front of the camera so you can see what we're doing, fire off a couple of marks, and then show you how they really do work in the field. Heel. Okay, you can pretty well get the idea there, how we use them in training. Really, really good tool. Here. Sit. Drop. Up, 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 up. Make sure you show your dog what he's supposed to pick up when he gets out there. So he's looking for a bumper, not a duck. Or looking for this bumper, not a 2-inch bumper. Up, up. And good. Here. Up, 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 up. And have some fun with it. Couple little operational tips here for you is that I've learned using these things over the last 17 years, not these units, but Bumper Boys for the last 17 years. When you get finished with them, if you haven't shot off all the bumpers, open it up, push the firing pin here so it clicks. Now it's unarmed, it's loaded, it's got a shell in it, but it's unarmed. I do that all the time before I ride around with them in the four-wheeler. I don't want something to bump or have that thing go off accidentally and shoot a bumper down the road or hit me in the back of the head, something like that. So it's just like you'd unload a gun at the end of your hunt. Then also, I keep a set of needle nose pliers with me. Set of needle nose pliers. And I use these survey flags to mark my blinds. After you shoot these things off, sometimes the shell expands in there or the case cracks. And okay, that one came right out. That's unfired shell. Okay, that one's going to be fine. Okay, this one here sticks just a little bit. So you put your needle nose pliers in there and pull it right out. Or you can put your surveyor flag right down the barrel and push that shell out, just like I did right there. Again, you want to treat these things like they're loaded guns, and because basically they are. Instead of shooting a bullet, they shoot a bumper. But just a couple of handy little tips to make things a little bit more efficient and quicker for you out in the field.